Okay, what is going on, everybody? What is up? Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Welcome. Welcome to all of my friends, my viewers. How are you? Happy Friday. Today is Friday, August. I said August. Oops. Let's try that again. Today is Friday, September 15th, 2017, ladies and gentlemen. We are halfway through September, if you can believe it. Feels like September just started, but there's been so much stuff going on, so many new releases, right? So much happening that time has flown. This always happens during what I like to term the hardcore gaming season of the year. So much new stuff, so much exciting stuff that boom, 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 time flies, right? So, let's talk a little bit, folks, because today is the beginning of a torrent, an absolute torrent of new release coverage for all of you there. For all of you, for all of us is what I meant to say. Let's talk. Okay, first of all, today, my one gameplay stream for the day, yes, there's only going to be one, is Dishonored Death of the Outsider. This is the standalone expansion to Dishonored 2. That's supposed to, hopefully, I mean, from the way they described it at E3, it's supposed to answer some questions regarding this outsider character. Now, if you're not aware, if you haven't watched my previous playthroughs of Dishonored, alright, there's this weird guy called the Outsider who has these crazy supernatural powers, and he's the one that gives the supernatural powers to the protagonists and, in some cases, the antagonists of the Dishonored series. Now, it's never been explained how this happened. Like, who is he? Where did his powers come from? You know, what is this supernatural force? It's never explained. The Dishonored games is more about what happens to the people who get these powers. So apparently in this DLC, the focus is on a character who's actually one of the villains of Dishonored 2. And she's so angry at the events that have happened that she's like, screw this, I'm going after this guy who gave all of us the supernatural powers and fucked everything up to begin with. Okay? So hopefully we'll get some answers during this standalone expansion. I would call it a DLC, except it is downloadable, but it's not an add-on. It's not, you can buy this completely separately from Dishonored 2 and not need to own Dishonored 2 to play it. Okay? So, that being said, it's going to be interesting. I liked Dishonored 2. The one thing I didn't like about Dishonored 2 was the performance on PS4. It really performed poorly. If you guys remember last year, the gameplay itself was fun, but the game chugged along. Like, it really had a lot of issues trying to run on PS4. The frame rate constantly dipping, and it's really annoying when you're in the middle of a fight, right? You're in the middle of a fight where you need to perform well. You need to have good reactions and everything. And as you're doing it, all of a sudden, the frame rate dips tremendously. It's like, well, this is shitty. You know, this is really bad that happened. And that's kind of the entire experience that I had last year with Dishonored 2. It was not a fun experience in that regard. So that being said, I'm hoping now, I mean, we're here a year later, right? A year later, you would think, if they're going to sell a standalone expansion to the game, that it's going to have those graphical issues at least improved or fixed, right? I guess we'll see. Some people right now in the stream chat are saying it wasn't just the PS4 version, that basically every single version of Dishonored 2 ran really poorly. And that's why it basically got kind of almost panned. Which is sad, because I actually really did like the gameplay of Dishonored 2. It was just the graphical performance that pissed me off. It was very disappointing. Alright, so that's today's gameplay stream, folks. It'll last about, you know, roughly it's usually around 3 to 3.5 hours of gameplay, depending on how it goes and the break that I take. I haven't been taking breaks recently because I've been playing Destiny 2, and it's such a freaking grind, I just keep playing. But today I am definitely going to take a break. Breaks are good. The thing is, especially for someone like me who has what would be called a sedentary lifestyle, meaning, I mean, all day I'm sitting here playing games with you guys. You need to take breaks to get up and move. If you don't, there's a lot of health hazards. Number one, I have a back injury, and just sitting around not moving can actually make it worse. Number two, there's risk of, if you can believe it, blood clots, heart issues. If you're just sitting all day long and not getting up, that's a problem. So I need to start taking breaks again. I know for the past week I really haven't been taking breaks when playing Destiny 2. I have to start doing that again. All right. So yeah, about 3.5 hours roughly, we'll say, of gameplay here on today's gameplay stream, okay? Tonight I will not be streaming a second stream. I'll be doing errands and stuff, grocery shopping for me tonight and stuff like that. So none of that tonight. Tomorrow, double stream day, and it is a special time. All right, folks? A special time. Information right now, I'm giving it to you. I've already had it on my Twitter schedule for 2 days, but just in case you haven't been paying attention. Tomorrow's gameplay stream, the first one, will start early. I'm going to be starting about 30 minutes earlier than usual. All right? So normally I turn on the stream around 12:30. Tomorrow I'll be turning it on around noon in the hopes of starting about a half an hour earlier than usual. And that stream is going to be ending significantly earlier. It's going to end around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. So I hope to get in around maybe 2.5 to 3 hours of gameplay on that first stream tomorrow. Now, you might say, I wonder why Phil's doing that. Why is Phil adjusting his schedule? Why is the first stream going to be earlier and ending so much earlier? Well, here's the answer, folks. Because tomorrow is the launch of the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta. I'm very excited to be checking this out. I have really not seen much. The only footage I saw of it was the one trailer they played at E3. I have not even looked into any more coverage of the game at all. Okay. So that being said, I'm very interested to see what this beta will be. I have heard that it's made by Arc Systems, the people who make games like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue. However, I actually don't really like the fighting systems of those games. I feel that it's very overly complicated to the point where there's so much going on that you really have to be hardcore engrossed and be like a really hardcore player of those games in order to really understand them at a high level. So what I'm hoping is that hopefully this game, if it really is made by the same exact dev team as those other games, maybe they've dumbed it down or they made a more simplified engine so that it's easier for more casual players to jump in. Not to say that I wouldn't try to learn the engine at a high level, but I'm just saying, if you've got already from the start of the game 55 game mechanics to learn, it could make it pretty difficult to adapt and jump into stuff, right? You know what I mean? So, the beta starts tomorrow, alright? Now, the thing is about this beta, it's weird. It's not like a normal beta where they're like, oh, it's just live all weekend. It's not. They're actually doing it in waves. So the first wave is from 2 to 5 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not be here from 2 to 5 a.m. to play it. The next wave is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not be here then either. Okay? I will be here for the third wave, which is supposed to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. my time. So I'm going to try to get here as early as I can. But of course, if I'm just ending my stream at 3:30, that means I'm uploading around 4. Then I got to eat dinner and kind of clean up and everything. I'm going to try to get back as quickly as I can and start the stream to see if I can get into full 3 hours. But who knows? Also, it is a beta, so who knows if it's actually going to work? That's the other thing, right? Imagine if this whole beta is an epic fail like Street Fighter V's was. Oh my god. If you guys remember the Street Fighter V beta, oh my god. What a fucking failure that was. One of the worst betas ever. So I'm hoping that they do not fuck it up that bad. I would at least like to get a few matches in during the beta. Okay? So yeah, so tomorrow night, roughly 6 to 9 p.m., I'll be doing the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta. And then on Sunday, again, the next slot, just so you guys know, is from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. So I'll be doing that as well. I'll be doing that slot. That'll be my gameplay stream for Sunday. Alright? Sound good? So I'll be doing a double session of Dragon Ball FighterZ over the weekend. I hope that you will join me for those 2 sessions. Now, keep in mind, It's going to mostly be flubbing around and trying to figure out how to play the game. Don't expect high-level gameplay. Don't expect anything. I haven't even, like I said, I haven't even seen anything of the game since E3. So, yeah, don't expect anything mega amazing. But the thing is, I'm a fan of Dragon Ball. I actually just recently finished watching all of Dragon Ball Z. It was just like a month or two ago when I finished it. So I, have all that lore and everything in my head. I don't know who the character selection will be in the beta either. We'll have to see, I guess, right? So, should be pretty interesting. We'll see how that goes, alright? That should be a fun weekend. Then on Monday, we're returning back to the normal stuff. So, if I haven't beaten this Dishonored standalone expansion yet, that'll be played again on Monday. And Monday night will be more Mario plus Rabbids, okay? Now, if I do beat the Dishonored expansion quickly, like let's say it's quick, I don't know how long it is, right? Then I would consider going back to Destiny on Monday. Of course, the thing is, to do a raid, you need 6 players. And who knows, if I don't even know if I'm going to have time to play on Monday, how do I coordinate 6 players joining me? I pretty much can't, right? So, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. And then Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, is the launch of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. The new hot fighting game from Capcom. I snicker a little bit when I say that because it pretty much is, it's a game that's been getting a lot of the wrong kind of attention. Let's put it that way. People are basically saying, man, this game just seems so underwhelming. It doesn't have any of the characters, like the X-Men characters that are the popular characters in the Marvel Universe. It doesn't seem to have any of, basically any of the stuff that would attract you to playing a fighting game from Capcom. It just seems like a watered-down version of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So a lot of people are kind of very, very skeptical about this game and if it's going to be any good. Okay? So, that being said, we're going to see firsthand. We're going to see firsthand when it comes out on Tuesday, if it's any good, alright? So I guess we'll find out. I'm not going to hate on it until I actually play it. I played the demo of the story, and there was so little to do in it, and so little opportunity to learn anything with the characters or anything, that I couldn't really give much of a comment. I guess we'll see firsthand Tuesday if the game's any good or not. Alright? And that's going to be this week. It's going to be basically the juggling Dishonored until I beat it, along with Mario and Rabbids, along with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and eventually, hopefully, getting back to Destiny 2 to do the raids, and going from there, alright? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make in regards to Patreon, because we've got some interesting developments and results that I want to share with all of you, because very shortly, once I start wrapping up these new releases that I'm handling right now, I'm going to be starting up with a Patron's Choice playthrough. And I want to explain the situation to everyone, because actually, it's good news for everybody. Okay? It's actually the way... Oh, by the way, I see that I have the wrong cheer messages up. I'm going to have to fix that before we start. I'll switch those out of the Mario plus Rabbids cheer messages back to the generic ones for this playthrough. Alright, so anyway. Here's the deal, folks, because there's a lot... Here we go. It's good. I don't want to get too much into detail or complicated. Let me put it this way. The patrons from the month of July, actually, have been nominating and voting on games that are going to be the next Patron's Choice playthrough. This is going to be the game that's balanced to be played in along all the new releases. So I'll be playing new releases, and when, let's say, there's a day... Oh, I don't have a new release to play, or maybe I'll put the new release on first stream and I'm going to do something different on my second stream, okay? That's the purpose of the Patron's Choice playthrough. So, here's what happened. Basically, the patrons nominated a bunch of games, and the top nominee was Super Mario Sunshine. Now, I'm not against playing Super Mario Sunshine. I've actually never played it at all. I know nothing about it, really. Now, here's the thing. It was nominated the top nominee, and at that point... I looked strongly at the situation. I was like, man, right now I'm actually playing Mario plus Rabbids. I'm not even done with it yet, right? So I'm already playing a Mario game. Coming up in late October, if you guys aren't aware, it's actually October 27th, the Friday, Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch releases. Alright? So we're talking I'm playing a Mario game now that I'm not even done with yet. And then in a month, I'm going to be playing another Mario game. Okay? So if I were to play Mario Sunshine now, it would be Mario Overload. And let's face it, let's all be real here. It's cool to have some of a good thing. It's not good to have too much of a good thing. Because when you have too much of a good thing, you get what's called burnout, right? If you just constantly are playing the same kind of game over and over and over, you get burnout. I get burnout playing it, and you get burnout watching it, right? And I knew playing 3 back-to-back-to-back Mario games was not going to work. It was just not going to work at all. People were going to get pissed off and bored and say, why is Phil playing so much of this? Just like earlier this year, if you remember, there was a Patron's Choice playthrough of Danganronpa 1, and then immediately following it, the patrons picked Danganronpa 2, to which I said, I don't think this is a good idea, and I was correct, because if you guys didn't notice, when I played Danganronpa 2, the attendance on the streams, as well as the viewership on YouTube, was way down compared to Danganronpa 1, because people were like, we just saw this game, we don't want to see the same game again. Okay? So, I appealed to my patrons, and I said, listen, I really don't think it's going to make sense for you guys to vote for Super Mario Sunshine now. In addition to just the concerns that 3 Mario games back-to-back don't make sense, also, if you guys aren't aware, this is actually the best time right now to be putting out videos on YouTube, starting right now and through December, because this is the big advertisement-heavy season. This is the time when most YouTubers go gung-ho into YouTube, because they know if they put out videos now, they're going to make the most amount of money. For me, being real here, real talk with all of you, this is one of the most important times of the year, because whatever videos I put out now make a big lump of income for me that then allows me to survive through the slower months of early the next year. For example, typically in January and February, ad revenue dips really bad on YouTube. So I have a few great months at the end of the year and then a few bad months, but it usually levels out because of the fact that I made so much early on, okay? However, if I play Mario Sunshine, if you guys aren't aware, I can't monetize it on YouTube. Why? Because Nintendo claims all first-party Nintendo videos on YouTube, all right? And that being said, that's terrible, because this is the time of the year when I really do need to, in order to actually keep things going, to keep the business running, to be able to keep doing this as a job, folks, and be able to provide you with these daily gameplay streams and videos on YouTube, all right? I need to basically do the best thing for the business right now in order to keep it going. Because the bottom line is, if I play a bunch of games I can't make any money on now, and then come January, I can't make any money because YouTube ad revenue's down, I won't be here anymore. That's just being matter of fact, folks. That's just being matter of fact. That's not me trying to blow the situation out of proportion or being over dramatic. That's me being real with you. You know, when you make these decisions, we have to realize that you have to do the best thing so that I can still be here tomorrow. All right? Now, the thing is, I could have made the decision and said, all right, well, now I'm banning Mario Sunshine from the running completely. And you know what would have happened if I did that? Here's what would have happened. Massive backlash, because the patrons would have said, but that was the game we nominated the most, and you're banning it? That's not fair, right? So, what I did is I made a poll based on the nominations, and it just so happens that the poll is going to end this weekend. This Sunday, actually, is when I'm going to close the poll. All right? And, of course, Mario Sunshine is winning the poll. Of course, I found out, I actually looked into it, and yes, it is true that many legitimate patrons, you know, people who are fans of mine, did actually vote for it. At the same time, there was a group of assholes, a group of, yes, detractors, who actually are paid patrons of mine on purpose so that they can skew voting in a situation like this, and they all voted for it too on purpose once they saw that I asked to please not vote for it. So, here's what we're going to do. I did a compromise with everybody, okay? And people seem to like it. People are, you know, the patrons are really liking the compromise, because basically it's a win-win for everyone. It's basically me going above and beyond what's expected of me with this Patron's Choice playthrough. So allow me to explain. What I'm going to do is on Sunday night, all right? On Sunday night, I'm going to close the poll, and we're going to find out what's going on with it. You know, what's the final results? Oh my God, excuse me. More than likely, Mario Sunshine's going to win the poll, all right? But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what came in second place. Right now, I haven't checked the poll this morning, but as of last night, I checked it. So I should have said as of last night. The second place of the poll is actually Spyro 1. Now, this is interesting because I have never played a Spyro game before, ever. I don't even know. I mean, apparently it's an action platformer, but that's all I know. I've never played a Spyro game ever before. Okay. So that could certainly be interesting to see how that goes if that is the game that wins. I think the other games that are in the running right behind Spyro are Manhunt 1, as well as I think it's like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Bay Bumblefuck Bouncing Baby Bullshit or something. I don't know what the game is called, but it's a SpongeBob game. All right. So, here's what's going to happen. Whatever gets second place is going to be the Patron's Choice playthrough for now. Meaning, like I said, once I start wrapping up these new releases that I'm playing right now, when we get a little bit of downtime, it's going to be whatever gets second place in the poll will be the Patron's Choice playthrough. That way, I can play it, I can monetize it. It's not another Mario game that'll burn everyone out from watching it, and it'll be a fun playthrough for the now. Alright? I am agreeing that because of this extenuating circumstances, that Super Mario Sunshine will be played. However, it will be played at a later date. More than likely, it's going to be in January, when we have tons of downtime. Typically, January is one of these very, very slow gameplay months. Typically, January and July are usually the two gameplay months where there's almost no new releases, nothing really going on. There's usually several weeks in January when there's just nothing happening. And that will be the time when I play Mario Sunshine, okay? So I'm making this commitment so that it's a win-win for everyone. We get a fun Patron's Choice playthrough now that I can actually monetize and doesn't burn everybody out. And then, come January, I play Super Mario Sunshine, which it seems a lot of people want to see. Okay? Sounds good? So again, win-win. The patrons are getting what they want, plus they're getting another playthrough. So basically, they're getting 2 playthroughs for the price of 1. That's pretty damn good. And I'll just throw this out there because it's hilarious. I knew this was going to happen as soon as I started talking about this. You notice there's some people complaining in the stream chat? You want to notice something about them? They're not patrons. These people aren't patrons. The people who are complaining are, guess who? The same people who troll voted for Super Mario Sunshine. The detractors, the assholes. They want to stir up drama where it doesn't exist. So they've been trying to spin this for the past couple of days, saying that I'm not going to play Super Mario Sunshine. And they've been spreading this drama all over the internet. It's completely false. It's actually the complete polar opposite. The patrons are getting double what they actually pledged for. They're getting double. 2 for the price of 1. But instead, they want to lie and say the complete opposite and say that they're not getting what they want. So they're fuckers. They're stupid fuckers. They lie all the time on purpose to try to make me look bad. And that's why I've been trying to tell people for days, don't listen to what they say. It's not true. And I will explain it when I'm ready to explain it, which I finally am. Okay? So, there you go. That's what's going to happen. I'm excited to see what wins the poll. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Spyro 1. And then, we'll see what happens. I'll let everyone know on Sunday night when I actually close off that poll. I'll let everyone know exactly what actually won, okay? Alright, sounds good. So, yeah, so amongst all the other new games, in about a week or so, once I start wrapping up all these new games, there's going to be a Patron's Choice playthrough starting up as well. Alright. Let's see here. I just want to give everyone the heads up. I've been talking about this recently. I'll say it again. Coming up in early October, I'm going to be taking some time off. There's actually a 1-week time period where there's 0 new releases. The entire first week of October, there's nothing. I don't know why. It's really weird that there are no new releases in early October. Typically, there usually are. But it looks like they've all been power loaded starting the second week into the end of October. So that first week of October, I'm going to be taking some time off from streaming. What I'm going to try to do is similar to how I did back in July. When I took time off, I'm going to try to, a few days before I take my time off, do longer streaming hours. So my streams may like extend by an hour a day or something like that for several days. So that way I get extra gameplay in so that I can actually have videos to upload. Okay. Regars is saying, isn't Forza 7 the first week? I mean, it might be. I don't care about Forza. I don't play Forza games. I don't care about Forza. So if that is the case, good thing that it's that week because I don't care about it. So yeah, just a heads up. I am going to be taking time off in early October. I don't have the dates set in stone yet, but it's probably going to be starting around October 3rd to 4th. And I'll probably be coming back around October 8th to 9th. All right. Just throwing that out there. That's rough. That's not, 100%. That's a rough idea of when exactly I'll be taking time off. I have to solidify it as we get close. I mean, we still got over 2 weeks before that time period, but I'll have more information as we get closer. All right, folks? Fair enough? All right, so now let's talk about the present day and stuff that's going on. Right now, my current Patreon right now, ladies and gentlemen, is for a Halloween horror marathon. If you pledge $5 or more by the end of this month to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil, and if we hit the monthly funding goal this month, I'll be doing a Halloween horror marathon, about 7+ hours straight of horror-themed games for you on Halloween. I actually do it on the day of Halloween, okay? In addition, I'll be dressing up in costume to show up on webcam during that marathon, so it's going to be a fun event. However, we do have to hit the funding goal, and we are way under that right now, just to give you a heads up. The last time I checked, I believe we were over $200 under. Honestly, I haven't checked in a couple days. I know I did get a few new pledges, and thank you to everyone who was a new pledge to my Patreon. I appreciate that. But we are definitely under, all right? We're going to need some people to step up and pledge by the end of the month in order to hit this goal, all right? So, that being said, ladies and gents, I'm excited. I hope you're excited that we could get this going. I want to do a Halloween event. I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. I love horror and horror movies. So this could definitely turn out well if we can make it happen. All right. Sound good? Now, in addition to just the monthly goal, of course, we've also got perk levels that you get for pledging to my Patreon, all right? Including things like getting text or verbal thank yous in my videos, getting your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, or getting a private Q&A video made. I just filmed some of those on Tuesday, and already got feedback from one of the viewers. They absolutely loved it. Pretty much everyone who I've ever done a private Q&A video for loves it. They absolutely love the videos. So, please consider pledging. Just so you know, not only do you get those perks and the monthly goal, but it helps me out tremendously. It helps me pay my bills like electricity, internet bill, helps me afford the new releases, especially now. It's the busiest gaming time of the year with tons of new releases coming out I need to afford. Helps all that. Hey, it's helped me improve my business over the years. I got the soundproofing foam in my office, this microphone I use, all was paid with Patreon funds, all right? So, thank you everyone who is an ongoing patron. I appreciate your ongoing support. You've got 2 weeks left to pledge. Actually, I take that back. A little over 2 weeks. Yeah, like, what, 15 days left? Yeah, 15 days left in a month. Patreon.com/darksidephil. And then, folks, last but not least, if you're watching today's stream and you either cheer with bits, you sub to the channel, or you tip me, I will give you a verbal shout-out during the course of the stream. In fact, I see people have been doing so already, and I am going to give you all shout-outs in just a moment. If you cheer with 50 bits or more, if you tip me $2 or more, or if you subscribe to the channel and you click on the share button, you'll actually get an on-screen pop-up notification. You may have noticed the notifications are incorrect. They're Mario plus Rabbids. I'm going to change that in a moment and get it set up to be just generic ones for the Dishonored playthrough, okay? But yeah, you get visual recognition as well as verbal. Pretty cool, right? Now, if you are going to contribute, if you have a choice, and you say, oh, well, I wonder what's the best way to help out Phil. Should I cheer, should I sub, or should I tip right now? Honest answer to that, if you have the option to choose, please tip me. For the next month, I'm basically going to be in a tight financial position. I need to make ends meet. I need to be able to pay all my bills. And right now, because of the slow summer, things have been really very tight for the past month, and they're going to be again until I get paid in October for my really outstanding performance in August. If you guys aren't aware, August was my best streaming month ever. It actually surpassed the amount of money I made on YouTube for the first time in history. So that's tremendous, and I hope to keep that going moving forward. But right now, I really need your help, so if you could, and you have the choice, please tip me. Now, by the way, I'm not looking to give horse in the mouth. Anyone who cheers and subs, it's greatly appreciated, and trust me, that's all going to be coming to me in a couple months. I believe in November is when I get paid for that, and that's going to be great. So thank you to everyone who cheers and subs as well, but preferentially, I'd prefer if you could tip right now, all right? All right. Now, let's go ahead and do some shout-outs, and then we'll get started, okay? Let's scroll all the way down. First of all, once again, I have to give a shout-out to Game Master 2003's Dead and Golden Colts, both of whom cheered overnight, again, when I wasn't streaming. You guys have been awesome. You've been coming, I guess, I don't know where these guys live. That's the thing. I know I have an international audience. Maybe these guys come by and watch other streams, and then they just drop by my stream and cheer a little bit. I'm not sure. But you guys are awesome. I mean, supporting me when I'm not even here is a pretty awesome thing. So thank you for that. It is greatly appreciated, okay? All right. Vera did a 10-bit cheer. She says, I'm good. How are you today? I know it's kind of early there. No, it's not. It is 1:16 p.m. Not early at all. I'm doing good. It's cooling down here in Washington, which is good. Sadly, today we have beating sun. The past few days we had shade, which was nice. Today we have beating sun, which means the office heats up again. So I have to have the air conditioner on blast, which I'm sure you could probably hear in the background. But the good news is, this weekend we are dropping another 10 to 15 degrees. Meaning, I may not need the air conditioner at all anymore. If it really does get as cool as they're saying it's going to get, I'll probably give it a day or two just to make sure it doesn't heat up again. But that might be it. This may be the end of the season for the air conditioner. You know, I put it in May. Also, you know, May, June, July, August, and then half of September. I'm going to get rid of it now and then actually be able to friggin' breathe. You can hear my voice sounds way better now because I haven't had the air conditioner on full blast. I've had the window open, fresh air coming in every day, which is good for my health. So, feeling better, and I'm hoping to get better. You know, I have so many games to cover for you guys shortly. I want to be sure my voice is up to snuff, and it is getting better, so that's good news. Shout out to YOLO Dopper, who did a 50-bit cheer. Says, did you hear about how Tim Schafer got into a big argument with Anita Sarkeesian when he found out she backstabbed? No. I said this yesterday. I'll say it again. If I never hear anything about Anita Sarkeesian again, I would be happy. I don't care. Apparently she got arrested. I don't care. I don't care anything about her. I don't care anything about this SJW stupid bullshit, this feminist nonsense. I don't want to hear it. I don't care about it. I don't care. There you go. There's my reaction. I don't care. I love it. I don't. All right, that was bad. Vera did another 10-bit cheer. She says, blood clots are the scariest thing most people that have them don't know because the symptoms could be caused from other things. This is correct. This is absolutely correct, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not aware, blood clots have very few outward symptoms, okay? Some of the things that you get when you have blood clots are things that basically other things make you have as well as symptoms. So, like I said, someone like me, I need to take breaks. I need to, during a stream, be getting up and walking around and doing stuff, you know, at least once during a stream because, yeah, I live a lifestyle where I'm sitting here all day playing games with you guys, and I gotta make sure I don't have those kind of risks, okay? Shout out to Or Knights, who did a 10-bit cheer. He said, any weird neighbors in your area that does anything unordinary that's not right? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Really, I only know very few of my neighbors because I've been so busy with work since I moved here. I honestly haven't had a lot of time to meet the neighbors. I mean, I have a next door neighbor to my right who is a retired employee of Boeing. It's an aeronautical industry. I believe she's in her 50s or 60s. So she doesn't work. She's retired. You have to think she's in her 60s. She doesn't work. And so she does a lot of the maintenance around here. Like, she does a lot of the yard work and stuff, like, you know, gardening and stuff like that for the facility. And then to my left, it's a bunch of younger people, about my age, actually. And I know there's a married couple, as well as they have another person, I guess, who rents a room there. I'm not sure. But they have 2 dogs. They're nice people. But I don't really, we don't interact. We barely ever see each other. It's just in and out, going in and out of the houses. Maybe we'll see each other every once in a while. But it's not like I spend any significant time with these people. I don't really know anything about any of my other neighbors. At all. They're all inside. They're very private, Not to say that they don't have events. They do have events like, oh, come to the board meetings or whatever. But I'm too busy. I can't do that stuff. I'm here every day working, folks. So I don't get really to be social with my neighbors or anything like that. Don't know too much about them. But I can tell you, no, I don't know if any of them doing weird shit. And this is an interesting thing for you, okay? Some people wonder, gee, I wonder how Phil's neighbors react when they hear him yelling and screaming while he plays games, right? Well, this is funny. The other day, I was actually power washing my driveway. And I asked my neighbor, I said, I'm just curious, do you ever hear me when I'm in my office working? And she said, no. When I first moved here, she did hear me all the time, but it seemed like it stopped. I said, I know why. Because in 2015, when I started Patreon, right, I bought all the soundproofing foam for my office. So in 2015, I bought all this soundproofing foam, and it works. So that's why no one hears me, because I got all the soundproofing foam to absorb the noise. So my neighbors don't hear me. That's good. As opposed to in Connecticut, in my condo where I used to live, that place, the walls were like paper. You could hear everything above, to the sides, everything. So that's why it's awesome that I live here and I have, this office. A lot of people say, oh, I don't see the benefit. Well, that's because you don't live here. That's because you don't understand. You're talking from an outsider perspective. But yeah. So there you go. All right. What else? Let's keep going here. Wow, there's a lot more shoutouts to do. Damn. All right. Next up, shout out to Vera, who did a 50-bit cheer. She said, Derek is saying that he's hyped and can't wait for the Dragon Ball FighterZ tomorrow night. I love Krillin and Super Saiyan Vegeta. It's the same 3 versus 3 format like King of Fighters, and LA Noire is coming out on the Switch on November 14th, 2017, which really surprised me at school today. #charity. Yeah, LA Noire is coming out. It's kind of a weird timing for the release, because it's right among a ton of new releases. Like, a lot of people have asked me, am I going to be playing it? I mean, I'm very interested in playing it. I just don't know if I can play it then. Like, there's so many other new games coming out in November. I'm not going to drop them to play a re-release, you know what I mean? But I am interested in playing it again because, number one, I haven't played it since it came out in, 2010? Right? A long time ago. It was either 2010 or 2011. I think it was 2011. And number two, because guess what? That channel that I used to do that shit on sadly got hacked and taken over, and I have no control over that playthrough anymore. I mean, that playthrough could be deleted tomorrow. So replaying that game could be a lot of fun. All right. Shout out to Dark Viking 159 who tipped me $5. Thank you, Dark Viking. He says, hey, Phil, it's been a while. Do you have an idea why some people call me Brightside Viking? Well, it's because there's another Viking who frequently, he's one of my biggest fans. He watches a lot of my stuff. He frequently contributes with cheers and such to the streams. And he currently, comes in and out. He's even a mod here on the stream. And his name is very similar to yours. So I'm not surprised that people would be confused and see, oh, Dark Viking. Because I think right now he goes by Dark Radovan Viking. So we've got Dark Viking and then Dark Radovan Viking. You've got 2 Dark Vikings. So it's not a surprise that there would be some confusion there. Okay, that's why. All right. Shout out to Mo, who did a 100-bit cheer, #charity. I should bring this up, guys. If you are going to cheer today, please use the #charity. Because for 4 more days, if you use that hashtag while you're cheering, Twitch will donate to charity, to the Extra Life charity. And it's no skin off my back. I still get the bits. So there's no reason for you to not use it. Okay, please use the #charity if you are going to cheer. Fair enough? All right, shout out to Kushiaki. Oh, excuse me, I skipped one. I'll get back to you, Kushi. Shout out to Last Rambo, who did a 200-bit cheer. He says, #charity. Thank you for that. Sunshine was actually one of my votes, but I completely understand your situation. Therefore, I don't mind if you postpone it and play something else. I know. And the bottom line is, if you actually look at the thread where the actual patrons are talking, they all agree that this is actually the best situation possible. They're going to get a playthrough now and a Super Mario Sunshine playthrough in January. They're all happy about it. It's not them that's mad. It's the fucking detractors because they're trying to spin it to make me look bad when in reality, I'm giving people more than what was promised. But, you know, that's what shithead losers do. They look for drama where it doesn't exist to make me look bad so that they can try to get some more attention when they don't fucking deserve it. You would think they would have learned after the SOK situation. Apparently not. Well, let them circle jerk each other off even more. Shout out to Kushiaki Tour, he did a 10-bit cheer. He says, what happens if another game overtakes Super Mario Sunshine in the polls at this point? It won't. It won't happen. Tell you right now, it's not going to happen. There's no way another game's going to beat it. I think it was ahead by like 6-7 votes. And most of the patrons have already voted. So, there's no way it's going to get overtaken. No worries about that. Shout out to Framework. We did a 210-bit cheer. He said, Oktoberfest, hashtag charity. Yes, October is the crazy month for gaming, ladies and gents. It is out of control how much shit goes on in October. It really is. So, I'm excited for October. That's why I want to take that time off in early October to be completely refreshed and ready to hit the ground running to cover all the new releases for you. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 major new releases in October that are going to be AAA titles everyone's going to want to see and I want to play, so. Alright, shout out to Chairman Caleb who did a 20-bit cheer. He says, you've been doing the permanent webcam stream for a while. I'm assuming you like to set up better because you haven't gone back. Personally, it's better seeing you and your reactions to the game. I'll be honest with you, Chairman Caleb. This is my God's honest truth. Honestly, I prefer not doing the webcam. Reason being, because when I'm doing the webcam, people demand that I wear some kind of a nice shirt every day. Phil must wear a nice shirt for stream. Phil should be brushing his hair for stream. It's like, dude, I'm just sitting down to play a video game. For me, it's like, why am I doing myself up to play a game? You know what I mean? But the thing is, there's so many streamers who would literally treat their streams like entertainment shows that they do. They fucking have lighting and they put makeup on their fucking faces. They dye their hair. They do all this crazy shit that I don't do. All right. But I knew earlier this year, I knew that when I was going to be adopting a more full-time streaming kind of a mentality, and that I was going to be focusing more on the live interactive audience than on YouTube, that people were going to want to see me on webcam because it had already become the standard for live streamers. Not to say that all of them do it. There are still some streamers who don't use webcam at all, which that's like a holdout audience, honestly, because most of them do it now. But I knew people would say, oh man, Phil's really not taking this seriously if he doesn't use webcam all the time. And honestly, it's not more work for me. The webcam's set up. It does it automatically. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like I have to go out of my way to make the webcam work. It's not a ton of extra work or anything like that. So, it is what it is. That's why I do it. It's not because I like it. It's because people seem to like to see me on camera. Like you just said, I think they like to see my live reactions. They like to see that versus kind of guessing how I'm reacting. You know, there's been a lot of moments this year. All right. There's a lot of moments this year that have been accentuated by the fact I think that there was a webcam on, right? You get to see my live reaction to something. Alucard just said the most ridiculous out-of-place comment ever. You ready? Well, Lyric doesn't do that, and he has 30,000 viewers at a time always. LOL. Yeah, Lyric. You know the guy who's been a full-time streamer for a bajillion years, was known for full-time streaming. You know, the guy who makes a living doing it for multiple years, and therefore he has a giant holdout audience, and people go to him because he's the go-to guy for streaming since he's done it for so long. Of course! Duh! Hold on. Let me say something else that makes it so common sense. The sky is blue when there's no clouds in it. Let's see. Grass is green. In general, it's usually green. It's like, gee, let me quote, but PewDiePie doesn't do something, but he gets millions and millions of it. Well, because he's the biggest fucking YouTuber, stupid. I mean, hold on. Let me do... If you're gonna type an actual message like that, like, just save your energy. It's such a silly, ridiculous thing to say. All right, anyway. Shout out to Mifakin This person's name is Mifakin Bulzich. Get it? My fucking balls itch. Oh my god. What a name. My fucking balls itch. That is great. And they almost got me too. I almost didn't recognize that what it was. But they resubscribed to the channel for the second month in a row. That's great. How did you get away with that name? That's great, man. My fucking balls itch. God, they said, ha! Got him. Yeah, that's a good one. That one I gotta legitimately give a laugh to. That's good. And also shout out to Darth Viking, who just did another $3 tip. Said, here's some more moolah. By the way, I am in the newspaper, lol. Well, hopefully you're in the newspaper for something good, and not because, like, you're wanted or because you caused a huge disaster in your local town. That would not be good. Alright, final thing to mention, and then we'll get started. I know it's been a long pre-stream, but there's been a lot to talk about, plus there's been a ton of shout-outs I had to give. Excuse me. If you are not subscribed to my channel, and you enjoy my live streams, like, man, I maybe would like to subscribe to Phil. Right now, there's a promotion running on Twitch. If you're not currently subscribed to a channel, I think for 32 days or more is the criteria. You can subscribe right now for the very first time for half price. Alright? Half price. Half price subs on Twitch until October 2nd. So, if you're not subbed, you might want to consider subbing now and saving half. Alright? Alright. Wait, looks like we got one more shout out. Damn, from Vera. She did another 50-bit cheer. Derek says to send this again. He says you should check out House of Cards and Fuller House on Netflix. I love been watching those shows in my spare time. Yeah, I got Netflix now. I got it on the 1st of September. Already, I've caught up to... I've already caught up with... I won't say Game of Thrones. That's a complete fuck up. I already caught up with Walking Dead. Okay? And I watched Stranger Things, which everyone was telling me to watch. Now I'm moving into other stuff. I watched some of Black Mirror, which I like. And now I'm moving into other things. Other shows and stuff. And I'm trying to take in recommendations because there's so many fucking things on Netflix. Oh my god. There's so many shows to watch that I've never had access to before. And I'm like, oh shit, where do I start? I actually started watching this one random show last night called Between. And I watched like 4 or 5 episodes of it. I think. Actually, now I don't know how many episodes I watch. It was kind of like meh. It was alright at first, and then it kind of degraded and wasn't as good. So I'm not going to watch that one anymore. But that's the good thing about Netflix. Since you can watch the whole season at once, it's not like you feel like you had giant time investment. You could watch like a few episodes in a night, and if it doesn't get good or pick up, you're like, well, fuck it. Just watch something else. There's enough else to just dump out and watch something else. So, alright. Thank you, everyone. Now it is time, finally, to start with Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. Thank you for being patient. Let's begin. Here we go.